Hey friends, Josh Simon's coming to you today because I want to talk to you about some stuff. As you can see, I'm in my car and it is mid-November. And as you can see, no shave November. Here I am with a new thing for me, a new beard. So I might not look familiar to a lot of you folks out there. But I wanted to come to you today about a couple of things that are affecting me. And the reason that I'm coming to you is because there's a lot of people in the spiritual field that can be propped up by themselves or by the people around them as being better than or being more evolved or more enlightened. And I, I don't want to ever come off like that to anybody that I ever work with, anybody that I ever bring any messages to. So today I want to talk to you about stress. And I want to talk to you about labels and how labels can create stress. This is something that's affecting me right now pretty great because I am in the middle of November. And one of the things that happens to me every year is the temperature change, the light change, daylight savings time, all of that seems to affect me greatly. It's said that winter is not a season, winter is an occupation, and I get that. We're buttoning our houses up, we're getting snow tires on, holidays are rolling around, all of this stuff seems to come at once. And then it gets dark at 2 p.m. And that's that's awful. So again, I don't want to ever come to people about me being better than or knowing more than. I struggle just like everybody else. I'm on my path doing what I do, but that doesn't mean I'm better than. That doesn't mean that I know more than. That just means that I'm on my path. And this is important because I want to talk to you about how stress and labels go hand in hand. I'll give you an example. So I'm Josh. I am Josh the father. I am Josh the husband. I'm Josh the friend. I'm Josh the psychic. I have all of these labels based on my relationship with other people. And each of those labels brings about a little bit of stress to us, responsibilities, if you will, or obligations. Now, my life isn't incredibly stressful, and I'm very grateful for that. I'd say that, my biggest challenge now in mid-November is that I'm a little blah because of the weather and because of the darkness. Other than that, uh, I've got it pretty good, and I do appreciate that. I do encounter people that have lots and lots of stress in their life, so much stress. And this stress, more often than not, is tied to their relationships that they have around them, with the people that they have around them. So, I think back in years past when I did have really crappy jobs and things were really, really stressful for me. One of the reasons that I'm coming to you from the inside of my car is because I really believe that cars are magical places. If you're lucky enough to have a car and you can call it your own, there's things that you can do, touches that you can make that will make this car your own. Now, cars are places where we transition, right? We walk out of the house and we go from Josh the father to Josh the psychic, or we go from work to home, and we go from, you know, Sheila the worker to Sheila the mom, Jane the worker to Jane the mom, Tom the worker to Tom the father. We transition inside of our cars, and I really think that it's a good place for us to find a little bit of peace and a little bit of stability and a chance to transition in a better way. Uh, Lots of people bring the stress from their house to their job, and lots of people bring the stress from their job to their house. And it's not fair to either place. It's not fair to carry the weight of one label onto the responsibilities of the other label that you're becoming. So I want to share a tool that I have, I've discovered along the way, and it's really helped me. It's something that I call the Fourfold Breath. And what it is just a breathing technique, and anybody that has ever struggled with anxiety knows how breathing can help them if they just use it. I'm not saying it works for everybody. Of course, it doesn't work for everybody, but I've noticed that it works really well for me. So the Fourfold Breath is an inhalation of a count of four. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then you hold at the top of that inhalation for 4, and then you exhale for a count of 4, and you hold at the bottom of that exhale for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold at the bottom of that exhale for a count of 4. I'll show you how this can help you. Imagine you've had a really stressful day at work, and you don't want to bring that weight of that stress home, right, to your family who doesn't deserve that. So you get in the car, you listen into your music, news, public radio, whatever, and you're doing your best to decompress. Okay, maybe you go to the grocery store, maybe you run some errands or whatever you do before you get home. But when you pull into the driveway of home, this is what I want you to do. I want you to sit, and I want you to try this fourfold breath. I want you to inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Now, if you can't hold for 4, maybe hold for 2. But I want you to do at least 3 of them. And I want you to imagine that when you're doing them, you're kind of shedding that stress that's on top of you, and you're leaving it behind. You're going from one label to the next. You're going from Jane, the software engineer, to Jane, the mom. And you're switching those labels. And that's not only great for you, it's great for your family. Another great tool to use with this fourfold breath is to imagine visualization. You can use the moon, you can use the sun, whatever you like, but when you breathe in on a count of 4, imagine the sun is rising. And then when you're holding for that count of 4, imagine the sun is at noon, right at the highest peak in the sky. And then you exhale for the count of 4, and the sun is setting. And then when you're at the bottom of that exhale, you are at nighttime. Okay, it's dark. But when the sun is setting, imagine that the sun is purging those stresses from you, those things that have weighed upon your shoulder over the course of the day. Try that. Try it tonight. Try it tomorrow morning. Try shifting gears mentally and emotionally and spiritually from one of these labels that you wear to the next, and try to compartmentalize as best you can those responsibilities and those obligations. Just use that breath to get into a better mind state. Now, you don't even have to use it to shift those labels if you want. You know, if you're in the middle of the grocery store and you're getting stressed out, do a fourfold breath. Do a breathing technique. Just pause. Inhale for the count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for the count of 4, and hold for 4. Try that and see how that works. While I'm talking to you right now, try it and see how that works for you. I think that you'll be surprised at how that works. Ultimately, what I want you to know is that you're not your label. You're not Jane the mom. You're not Jane the daughter, or Jane the sister, or Jane the software engineer. You're you. And you should have hobbies. You should have things about your life that pertain to only you. Now, we do have these responsibilities. We do have these obligations for work and family and friends. That's what life's about. But that doesn't mean that we're stuck there. So think about the labels you wear, and think about how they affect you every moment of your day. And whenever you're feeling stressed, practice that fourfold breath. The sun is rising, the sun's at its peak, the sun is setting, and it's darkness. And use those cycles on your internal landscape to try to shift what's going on. So again, just a little tool that I use. I never want to become somebody that's propped up as being better than. I struggle. I'm struggling right now. This mid-November crap is awful for me. Some people handle it better than others, and some years are better than others. But I never want to be a guru or a messiah or anything like that. I just want to be a guy out here walking his path, trying to help people as best I can. And I hope that the words that I've shared with you today have helped you.